These are my 5 biggest takeaways from Week 10 of fantasy football. Starting off with Sunday Night Football, Keenan Allen's role in this offense continues to diminish. He saw just 51% of team snaps, which is sadly by far the highest mark he's seen since Week 7. He doesn't have the answers to beat man coverage like he once did, and with McConkey asserting himself as the number 1 once again, not sure with the current state of this offense they can support multiple weapons like they did earlier this season. Dan Campbell took over play calling duties in Week 10, and there's a few encouraging things to address. First up, they made it a point to utilize Jameson Williams, and he had by far his best game of the season. They also lined up under center more than they have in any other game this year and trotted out jumbo sets more than we're used to. As a result, they posted their second best rushing success rate of any week this season. With J.J. McCarthy at quarterback, something with Justin Jefferson is just off. He's averaging 12 fantasy points per game in McCarthy's 4 starts this season. While him and McCarthy have only converted on 50% of his targets this year, McCarthy has made some plays since returning from injury, but the down-to-down success is not there nearly enough to support the draft price that Jefferson had going into the season. Now, the game script wasn't necessarily there, but Kyle Monangai saw his lowest snap share since Week 6. It was never realistic to assume this backfield would go full split, but it seemed that Monangai did enough to earn himself some more valuable opportunities. But in Week 10, Swift saw 8 of the 9 backfield targets and 2 of the 3 red zone carries. Now, before I give you the most important takeaway from Week 10, you need to make sure you're joining Underdog and Prize Picks this week with code FTP. They're going to welcome you into the Drake May half-a-yard special for Thursday night, as well as up to $1,000 that you can use for all your Week 11 picks. TreVeyon Henderson had his breakout game in Week 10, and there's a lot to be encouraged about in this one. First off, 10 yards per carry and 2 rushing touchdowns versus a tough Bucs run defense. He also earned the majority of the red zone carries and had 28 fantasy points with just 1 target out of the backfield. I think we all know that will inevitably increase moving forward.